combination of some lines so I can write and stuff like that. That said, let's begin with some explanation of what I'm going to read. I have the intention of reading my favorite book series, the House of Night series. For those who don't know, the authors of this book is PC Cast and Kristen Cast. He has a total of 12 books, and I like to read the 12 books. I'm gonna do it by its chapters, but tell me if you prefer it differently. Okay, that said, let's go. I'm gonna start right now to read the book 1 of it, marked Chapter 1. Just when I thought my day couldn't get any worse, I saw the dead guy standing next to my locker. Kayla was talking non-stop in her usual babble, and she didn't even notice him. At first, actually, now that I think about it, no one else noticed him until I spoke, which is tragically more evidence of my freaking inability to fit in. No, Zoe, I swear to God you didn't get that drunk after the game. You really shouldn't be so hard on him. Yeah, I said absently. Sure, then I coughed again. I felt like crap. I must be coming down with what Mr. Wise, my more than slightly insane AP biology teacher, called the teenage plague. If I died, would they get me out of the geometry test tomorrow? One could only hope. So, please, are you even listening? I think he only had like 4, I don't know, maybe 6 beers, and maybe like 3 shots, but that's totally beside the point. He probably wouldn't even have had hardly any of your stupid parents had made you go home right after the game. We shared a long-suffering look, in total agreement about the latest injustice committed against me by my mom and the step loser she married 3 really long years ago. Then, after barely half a break, he was back in the battling. Plus, he was celebrating. I mean, we beat Union. He shook my shoulder and put her face close to mine. Hello, your boyfriend. My almost boyfriend, I corrected her, trying my best not to cough on her. Whatever. He had his water bag, so of course he's going to celebrate. It's been like a million years since Broken Arrow beat Union. 16. I'm creepy at math, but case math apparently makes me look like a genius. Again, whatever. The point is, he was happy. You should give the boy a break. The point is that he was wasted for like the 5th time this week. I'm sorry, but I don't want to go out with a guy whose main focus in his life has changed from trying to play college football to trying to chug a 6-pack without puking. Not to mention the fact that he's going to get fat from all of the beer. I had to pause the cough. I was feeling a little dizzy and forced myself to take slow, deep breaths when the coughing fit was over. Not that Pebble noticed. Ew, he's fat. Not a visual I want. I managed to ignore another weird cough, and kissing him is like sucking an sugar-free. He squirted up her face. Okay, sick, too bad he's so hot. I rolled my eyes, not bothering to try to hide my annoyance in her tinglish shallowness. You're so grumpy when you mistaking what he was, and even if I hadn't felt the power and the darkness that radiated from him, there was no fucking way I could miss his mark. The sapphire blue crescent moon on his forehead, and the additional tattooing of Edwin not work. The friendly's equally blue eyes. He was a vampire, and worse, he was a dragon. Well, crap, he was standing by my locker. Zoe, you were so not listening to me. Then the vampire spoke in his ceremonial words, playing across the space between us, dangerous and seductive, like blood mixed with melted chocolate. Zoe Montgomery, night has chosen thee. Thy death will be thy birth. Night calls to thee. Hearken to her sweet voice. Your destiny awaits you at the house of night. He lifted one long, white finger and pointed at me. As my forehead exploded in pain, Kayla opened her mouth and screamed. When the brightest blotches finally cleared from my eyes, I looked up to see Kay's colorless face staring down at me. As usual, I said the first ridiculous thing that came to mind. Kay, your eyes are popping out of your head like a fish. He marked you. Oh, Zoe, you'll have the outline of that thing on your forehead. Then she pressed a shaking hand against the white lips and successfully tried to hold back his hug. I sat up and coughed. I had a killer headache, and I rubbed that spot right between my eyebrows. It stung as if it wasp had bit me, and when it hit, it pained down around my eyes, all the way across my cheekbones. I felt like I might puke. Zoe, Kay was really crying now, and had to speak between my little white cups. Oh my god, there was a tracker, a vampire tracker. Kay, I blinked hard, trying to clear the pain from my head. Stop crying. You know I hate it when you cry. I reached out to tap the comfy bed on her shoulders, and she automatically cringed and moved away from me. I couldn't believe it. She actually cringed, like she was afraid of me. She must have been. She must have seen the hurt in my eyes, because she instantly started a string of breathless screams. Oh God, Zoe, what are you going to do? You can't go to that place. You can't be one of those things. This can't be happening. Who am I supposed to go to all of our football games with? I noticed they're all doing her theory. She didn't want to move any closer to me. I clamped down on the sick, hard feeling inside that threatened to make me burst into tears. My eyes dried instantly. I was good at hiding tears. I should be. I'd had 3 years to get good at it. It's okay. I'll figure this out. It's probably some bizarre mistake. I lied. I wasn't really talking. I was just making words come out of my mouth, still grimacing at the pain in my head. I stood up. Looking around, I felt a small measure of relief that Kay and I were the only ones in the mad hall, and then I had to jog back when I knew my hysterical laugh. Had I not been totally psycho about the geometry test from my own schedule for tomorrow, I had to run back to my locker to get my book so I could attempt to obsessively and pointlessly study tonight. The tracker would have found me standing outside in front of the school, with the majority of 1,300 kids went to Broken Arm, South America High School. Intermediate High School, waiting Guess the jazz club had changed its meeting time to Mondays after school to vampire playing jazz. Were there vampire dogs? What about Barbie-like vampire cheerleaders? Did any vampires play in the band? Were there vampire emos with their guy-wearing combats weirdness and those awful bangs that cover half of their faces? Or were they all those freaky girly kids who didn't like the bath much? Was I going to turn to a girly kid? Or worse, an emo? I didn't particularly like wearing black, at least not exclusively, and I wasn't feeling a sudden and unfortunate aversion to soap and water, nor did I have an obsessive desire to change my hairstyle and wear too much eyeliner. All this whirled through my mind while I felt another little hysterical bubble with never trying to escape from my throat, and I was almost thankful when it came out as a cough instead. Zoe, are you okay? Kayla's voice sounded too high, like someone was pinching her, and she'd taken another step away from me. I sighed and felt my first liver of anger. It wasn't like a task to produce. Kay and I had been best friends in 3rd grade, and now she was looking at me like I had turned into a monster. Kay, it's just me. The same me I was 2 seconds ago, and 2 hours ago, and 2 days ago. I made a frustrated gesture toward my dropping head. This doesn't change who I am. Kay's eyes teared up again, but thankfully her cell phone started singing Madonna's Material Girl. Automatically, she glanced at the caller ID. I could tell her rapid, intimate expression that it was her boyfriend, Jared. Go on, I said right on with it. Her look of relief was like a slap in my face. Call me later, she threw over her shoulder as she made a hasty retreat out to the side door. I watched her rush across the east lawn to the parking lot. I could see that she had her phone smashed to her ear and was talking in an animated little burst to Jared. I'm sure she was already telling him I was turning into a monster. The problem, of course, was that turning into a monster was the brighter of my 2 choices. Choice number 1, I turn into a vampire, which equals a monster in just about any human mind. Choice number 2, my body rejects the change and I die forever. So the good news is that I wouldn't have to take the geometry test tomorrow. The bad news was that I'd have to move into the house of night. I private boarding school until me down, known by all my friends as the vampire finishing school, where I would spend the next 4 years going through bizarre and unable physical changes, as well as a total and permanent life shake-up. And it's only if the whole process didn't kill me. Great. I didn't want to do it either. I just wanted to attempt to ignore, despite the burden of my mega conservative parents, my troll-like brother, and my perfect old sister. I wanted to pass geometry. I wanted to keep my grades up so that I could get accepted into the veterinary college at OSU and get out of Bolinero, Oklahoma. But most of all, I wanted to fit in, at least at school. Home had become hopeless, so all I was left with were my friends and my love away from my family. Now there was being taken away from me too. Glorious Heath. Girls flocked around him, posing and flipping their hair, while guys rapped ridiculously, picked pickup trucks and tried but mostly failed to look cool. Doesn't it figure that I would choose that to be attracted to? No, to be fair to myself, I should remember that Heath used to be incredibly sweet, and even now he had his moments, mostly when he bothered to be sober. High-pitched girls' giggles floated to me from the parking lot. Great! Getting richer, the biggest hole in school, was pretending to smack Heath. Even from where I was standing, it was obvious she thought hitting him was some kind of mating ritual. As usual, clueless Heath was just standing there grinning. Well, hell, my day just wasn't going to get any better. And there sat my Robin's Egg Blue 1966, with a blue bug right in the middle of them. No, it wouldn't go out there. I couldn't walk into the middle of all of them with this thing on my forehead. I'd never be able to be part of them again. I already knew too well what they do. I remembered last kid, a tracker adjusted SIHS. It happened at the beginning of the school year last year. The tracker had come before school started and had targeted the kid as he was walking to his first hour. I didn't see the tracker, but I did see the kid afterward for just a second. After he dropped his books and went out of the building, his new mark glowing on his eyes, on his pale forehead, and tears washing down his white cheeks. I never forgot the crowd at the halls at Pink that morning, and how everyone had backed away from him like he had the plague as he rushed to escape out the front doors of the school. I had to be one of those kids who had backed out of his way and stared, even though I felt really sorry for him. I just hadn't want to be labeled as the one girl who's friends with those freaks. Sort of funny, isn't it? Instead of going to my car, I headed for the nearest restroom, which was thankfully empty. There were 3 stalls. Yes, I double-checked each for feet. On one wall were 2 sinks, over which hung medium-sized mirrors. Across from the sinks, the opposite wall was covered with a huge mirror that had a ledge below it for holding brushes and makeup and whatnot. I put my purse and my geometry book on the ledge, took a deep breath, and one moment lifted my head and brushed back my hair. It was like staring into the face of a familiar stranger, you know, the person you see in a crowded and swear you know, but you really don't. Now she was me, the familiar stranger. She had my eyes. They were the same hazel color. They could never decide whether it wanted to be green or brown. But my eyes had never been that big and round. Right there. She had my hair, long and straight, and almost as dark as my grandma's had been before had begun to turn silver. The stranger had high cheekbones, long, strong nose, and wide mouth, more features from my grandma and her Cherokee ancestors. But my face had never been that pale, although always been olivish, much darker skin than anyone else in my family. But maybe it wasn't that my skin was suddenly so white. Maybe it just looked pale in comparison to the dark blue outline of the crescent moon that was perfectly positioned in the middle of my forehead. Or maybe it was the horrid fluorescent lightning. I hope it was the lightning. I stared at the dark exotic looking tattoo. Mixed with my strong Cherokee features, it seemed so brand. Mixed with my strong Cherokee features, it seemed to brand me with a mark of wildness, as if I belonged to ancient times when the world was bigger, more barbaric. From this day in my life would never be the same. And for a moment, just an instant, I forgot about the horror of not belonging and felt a shocking burst of pleasure, while deep inside I